This is Constant Elevation, the show for rising Air Force and community leaders who seek to define the future. Learn powerful work and life tactics to tackle any challenge. I'm your host, Gabriel Gabrock Avila. Let's go. What's up, everybody? Gabe Rock back on the mic once again. Hope you guys are enjoying the first few days of September. It has been hella stormy here in Maryland. Actually, we had an afternoon meeting and it was done via Teams. And my dog, it was a hail and farewell, as much as you can do a hail and farewell virtually, right? But my dog, like the thunder was so crazy outside that my dog jumped into I had to preface the entire meeting. I was like, I apologize if something goes on because my dog's going to jump in my lap. The thunder's freaking her out. My son, Benjamin, he actually had soccer practice outside. And so they only got to maybe 10, 15 minutes of it until they had to wave it off. And then they came home safely, thank goodness. But yeah, some of the weather has been crazy. It only lasts for like an hour. It's like a monsoon back in like Arizona, but it is what it is. So we're staying safe and enjoying those first couple days leading into Labor Day weekend. So you'll hear this on Sunday when it's released. And so hopefully you guys are staying safe. I know all the states are doing different phase, either shutting down a little bit tighter, like back home in Hawaii, or maybe getting a little bit more open things here like they are doing here in Maryland. So I just hope you guys are all staying safe and making smart decisions. So, but there's a lot of good news happening. And first, want to give a shout out to all of the recent selectees for Squadron Command. Shout outs. This is awesome. I saw on the cyberspace operations Facebook page that a lot of good officers moving into different positions. Shout out to the homie Ski, Charles Dobson. He got picked up for the 707th Comm Squadron Commander here at Fort Meade. He's going to be the homie next door. So I don't know. We were always joked around that like there is no way the Air Force would actually put us at the same base doing the similar mission. Granted, he's going to be working on the actual like base, and I'm going to be working still at JVXU Doden. But like we're in the neighborhood, and so some stuff is about to go down. I'm very, very happy for him and his family. He got blessed with a second opportunity to Squadron Command. If you didn't know, when I was the squadron commander at J Bear in Anchorage, he was the squadron commander up at Fairbanks at Eielson. So we're really looking forward to him taking the reins. He's the leader that we need out there on the front lines, inspiring all the officers, enlisted and civilians that are part of the Air Force team. And so I'm happy that I'll get to hang out with him, right? I'll live vicariously through him. Not really. It's to keep up with Skis is going to be a challenge in itself. But I'm very, very happy for him getting blessed with another opportunity to Squadron Command, and everybody that got selected. And so this is good stuff. Normally these announcements come out around the holidays, but they got early just either because of COVID or whatever reasoning it was. So regardless, I'm very, very happy for everybody got selected and wish them the best. And so the other part of good news is just got off some email traffic from my editor and my my publicist that I think actually now it's about that time. It's about that time to put out some more positive energy into the world and tell you about the new book that I wrote and how it's really, really close. It was already finished. I was putting some finishing touches on it, but now I want to talk about it. And because I think it's apropos, you have the new list of squadron commanders and out there, and this is going to be the advice, the title of my book. And just I'm going to read a couple of things here as far as what's going to be included in my book and the strategy when it's going to be released and stuff like that. So I'm very, very happy, excited, humbled, and just kind of, this is my own, I'm working on this for over a year and a half. And so without further ado, the name of my book, and I think this is the exact first thing I want to say to all of the recent selectees that got picked up as Squadron Command. It's also the name of my book. And the phrase is, no pressure, but don't mess this up. No pressure, but don't mess this up. Squadron Command is one of those kind of things that every officer you want to strive to be this. I know that all of us, if you want to fly, you want to be a cop, you want to be a maintainer, you want to be an intel officer. I get it that your function it is what it is, but like as an officer, all of us are striving to get to those leadership positions, and being picked up for Squadron Command is one of the significant things. Arguably, in my opinion, anyway, is going to be the most impactful position that you can have to serve within the Air Force, as far as mentoring and leading and leaving your stamp on what the Air Force needs to be and how to set the example of being a good leader, being an authentic leader, being a genuine leader. And there's differences. I'll tell you that, like, you don't. So I get very passionate about the idea because when people get selected, you go through these certain mindsets as far as like, okay, so I got picked up and like, am I ready? I don't really know if I'm ready. Should I act like this? And there's a lot of thoughts going into your head as far as that you got notified. You got that first phone call. It's like, yep, you got picked up and welcome aboard. We're looking forward to you joining the team. From that point on, there's a lot of stuff that happens. And that's going to be the premise of my book that I wrote, is to kind of be like, a little guidebook, kind of giving you a early preview as far as here's the things you need to think about over your upcoming 1 or 2 year tour as a squadron commander. But it started a long time ago. But based on a lot of fails and a lot of lessons learned that I went through, I chose to kind of write down all my thoughts and give my very specific version of how I think the kind of squadron commanders, the kind of leaders that need to be out there on the front lines, because arguably you're going to be, as much as you can have all the rank and all the position, and that's not a knock at all the higher leadership in the world across the Air Force, but like as a squadron commander, that's where you have the most direct impact. And there's going to the memories that impacting how people and their trajectory of either going, you're responsible for selecting and grooming the next generation of leaders, both on the enlisted and the officer side and the civilian side. So how do you take that responsibility? There's so many things on there. No pressure, but you better not mess this up. There's a lot of stuff going on. So I'm going to read to you the back of the cover. Throughout this week, I'll figure out how I'm going to release like some of the graphics. You can see the book cover, and I'll talk a little bit about how I'm going to release it. But let me just take a moment to read this. And I'm sorry, if you're watching the video, you're going to see me read from the thing. So here's the back copy. Okay. Every airman is expected to lead when the mission calls them to, but few leaders are given the ultimate responsibility to lead the foundational unit of today's Air Force, Squadron Command. Two-time Squadron Commander Lieutenant Colonel Gabriel Avila gives you practical advice across the duration of a command tour to be the leader you've always wanted to follow. From the moment you assume command to the moment you relinquish command and everything in between, learn powerful work and life tactics to authentically lead from the front and inspire others to do the same. Packed with personal insights, advice, and experiences that everyone can learn from. No pressure, but don't mess this up, will inspire multiple generations of leaders to confidently step into a position of inspiration within the Air Force that will be unmatched throughout your career. Whether you've already been selected for command or have aspirations to lead at the next level, you'll learn how to unlock your full potential while avoiding becoming another cog in the machine. You were chosen to lead as a squadron commander, so get out there and lead. Boom. Wow. That's really crazy that I'm just reading it out loud. It's surreal to me, to be honest. Because I've worked on so hard on this. I've been staring at this for a long time. So the idea of just kind of releasing this into the world. So that's going to be the back portion of the cover. And so what I'm looking at is that I'm probably going to be, it's in pre-production now. And so some of the COVID things are going kind of weird. So I'm looking at offering some pre-orders towards the end of September, early October, and then full-on book release at the end of October. I say that and it sounds really far away, but it's not that really far away. I have a lot of work ahead of me. There's a lot of growth and some new business things I'm learning in the background. And so if you head over to constantelevation.co and you sign up for the newsletter, you're actually going to be included in getting all the early access to some of the pre-orders. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to do merch across the entire thing, but like the focus is the book. Any other things you just happen to see there is just going to be just kind of funsies, and I just like designing things. But this is the passion project for me, right? Because I want this to be how I pay it forward, and understanding that I owe the Air Force a ton of credit to the person and leader that I've become. So I got to pay it forward. I got to make sure I'm grooming the next leaders that are I want to say that are following me. I think, to be honest, I'm probably going to be following them. Right. There's certain skill sets that I have and certain side of how I perceive things, but I got to make sure I make room for the next generation to really get us to the next level, really constantly elevate. Yep. Pun intended. Up to the next level we need to be. And I'm really excited to see how these new leaders are going to get after that. And I want to help everybody. I want to be part of the solution, wherever I can contribute to these conversations, wherever I can contribute to mentorship. However, the words that I write in the book and just kind of give you, even if, it is aimed at the primary audience as officers, especially who have been selected for Squadron Command. But if you're a second lieutenant, you probably want to read this book. It's going to show you exactly how, if you're part of a squadron anyway, how you can build up your personal leadership style. For the enlisted force as well, you're gonna capture some of these things that you can adopt the same things. Just because it's written for people or officers going towards Squadron Command, there's no reason why a kick-ass senior NCO can't do the exact same thing, or even a rising NCO, right? So the idea is just inspiring the leaders. By no means is this the one-stop shop to conquer all and say you only have to follow this plan. I'm not dumb. I'm not stupid enough to know that that's not realistic. But me sharing with you my ideas and just when you hear it from my perspective, maybe it's not going to come from a PME perspective. I'm self-publishing the entire book because I want it to be my own thoughts. I did want to be quote unquote like uncensored as far as like, well, we want to make sure you maintain a certain like, no, this is, I'm professional enough to know how to speak, right? And write down my thoughts and how I perceive the Air Force. But I also want it to be my own words, my own genuine perspective of how I want to do it. And I'm doing it all on my own, out of my own pocket, and just kind of releasing this book into the wild. So really excited. And I wasn't sure that I was actually scheduled to interview a wing commander tonight, but everything, because they're wing commanders, things follow through, and I am not as important as all the stuff they should be doing. And so that opportunity just got pushed to the right a little bit. But for now, I was like, well, we'll just talk about this. Sure, that sounds fine. Didn't have really any episode notes. Wasn't sure how long this episode is going to be. I have no idea how long this episode is going to be. But I just feel like this is the right timing and tempo for me to kind of get this energy out. Because a lot of people have been asking me, what's the progress? Hey, so how can I get on that early pre-sale kind of things? And so now I'm going to have to work on this. I'm getting kind of prompted, I think, from the world and just in the positivity of everything going on with all the great leaders out there that was recently selected for Squadron Command. Hats off to you guys and girls. You guys are going to do a great job out there. No pressure. Do not mess this up. It's going to be awesome. Okay, I'm going to leave it out there. If you have any questions or concerns, please hit me up. Go to constantelevation.co. You can find all my contact material. If you want to hit me on email or Instagram, whatever it is, you know how to reach out to me. So congratulations, guys. The new Squadron Commanders of the United States Air Force showing up summer of 2021. All right, let's get to work. Thanks for tuning in this week. We'll talk to you next week. Peace.